You are good to go.
Okay. For some reason, it didn't like do the you are recording. Um, well, hello everyone. Welcome to the faculty series from the library, the faculty collaboration series. Today's webinar is about library resources and utilizing our library resources for preparing for the new semester, which is something that uh, I think most people will be starting around now. So today we're going to be talking about that. But first, I want to introduce myself. My name is Veronica Nargi, and I am the Learning Experience Design Librarian, and I am based out of Kate's Library on the Augusta campus. And here's my contact information, and I will be sending out this presentation after the webinar, so you'll have access to all of this. So to get started, um, what does it mean to be prepared for the new semester? And that could be a lot of things, which we'll talk about. But essentially, it's collaborating with the library staff or utilizing our library resources for your course and making sure that you are aware of like all that is available to you as faculty. And why do we want to do this? To feel confident in our upcoming courses, make sure that we're prepared. It's never fun for anyone to be doing something the last minute. If we get our foot in the door and we get a head start, we can feel more confident in the long run that our courses are going to go smoothly and have a smooth start. So our first sort of, this is a big one. Our first step towards being prepared for the new semester is making sure that you're connecting with your librarian. So here we have on the library website a library collaboration form. And this is just a contact form that helps us know sort of like what sort of like interaction and collaboration you're looking for with the librarian. So you can work with a librarian you've worked with before. So if you know one of us and you're saying like, oh, I really want to work with Corey because I've worked with her in other semesters, that's totally fine. You can absolutely do that. Or if you want and you can work with somebody new, if you've worked with Corey before, or you want to, maybe this time you want to work with Donna, or you've never worked with a librarian before. So we'll, coordinate that, and one of us will come and work with you. Let me pull up the library collaboration form to show you what it looks like. So this is on our website under, I think it's faculty services and library collaborations. So this is our library collaboration form. You just put in your name, email, course number. If you don't, you could put in one course number or multiple. And then sort of the course mode that helps us plan what sort of resources we should be using for your course, and where you're located. That could also impact who works with you. Cynthia and Corey work out of the Bangor campus. Donna and I work out of the Augusta campus. So that really is helpful. And then also sort of what you would like the collaboration to look like. So you can give us your own idea, or we also have some suggestions if you're not sure where to start. So this is a really great form to fill out, get the ball rolling on a collaboration sometime in the semester. So I highly recommend that you utilize that to initiate contact. And then, hold on, let me go back to my slideshow. And, you know, even if you don't want to do a collaboration, you just want to talk to a library about resources or other things, you can always use our contact, our email, or you could give us a chat, and you'll be connected either way. So some other things that we can do that I would like to highlight is, and this is very popular with a lot of faculty, is having an embedded librarian. So what that means is that there is a librarian attached to your class in Brightspace, and this librarian would be somebody who takes either a very active role or a very passive role in your class. It's up to you. It's up to the faculty how much interaction you'd like the librarian to have with your class. Some librarians or some faculty ask their students to meet with the librarians to work on their projects. So yeah, it's really up to the faculty. You can also have librarians do workshops or tutorials for your class, or have entire modules. So there's already a library resources module in your Brightspace shells. It's very basic. So what a librarian can do is they can sort of beef up that library module. We can partner on coursework, and we can also add supplemental resources tailored to your class. And I should mention that we do sometimes have an embedded librarian workshop. We might be offering that next semester, so keep an eye out for that. And that is it's specific to embedded librarianship. We also have resource guides. These are sometimes known as LibGuides. We call them resource guides because it's very broad what we can do with these guides. So resource guides are customizable library pages. They can contain all sorts of things, very flexible. So the librarians and library staff can make or edit all of the resource guides. So I wanted to show you some examples. We have subject guides, which would be like guides on psychology or math or cybersecurity. Then we have general guides, which can be not related to a course or an area of study. These can be guides about research or information literacy. And then we also have custom guides. So these are guides that can be tailored specifically for your course and your class. These are a great place to add supplemental resources, these custom guides. But we're always looking for faculty to give their input on the subject guides and the general guides. At the end of the day, the faculty are the experts on these subjects. So, any input is good. So part of the checklist, your preparation checklist is, if you'd like, you can, look over the subject guide for your area of study and make sure that it's, accurate. If you have any suggestions to how to improve the guide, please let us know. We're always looking for that kind of feedback. So I just wanted to show some examples of the resource guides. So this is the guide this is a subject guide for archives and special collections management. This was actually put together by a faculty member. So that's really cool. And it's, you can see there's all sorts of resources, different databases, journals, etc. This is a general guide. So this is a guide about citations, citation managers, lots of things. So it's not attached to a subject. And then this is one of the, this is a course specific guide. So Donna put this together for a class. And there are different resources, and it says topic 1, topic 2, topic 3. I wish Donna was still here. But I guess that was connected to her class that she was working with. So maybe this is, connected to an assignment in that class. All right. And another thing you can do is, and we highly recommend this, is going through your course and checking links for accessibility. Many times faculty, copy over their courses from semester to semester, which is totally fine, but you might be using an article that you got from the catalog or from a database. And sometimes our access to certain articles or journals changes. It's very common. So making sure that if you do have links to journal articles, that you check those links, make sure that we still have access to it. A way to sort of circumvent this is when you are putting in resources in your course, if you have the opportunity to download a resource or an article, I would highly recommend doing that, just so that it is like a permanent, it has like sort of permanent accessibility, and you always have access to it if you have the document downloaded and linked to your course. But that being said, always remember, this, I think, just goes for any courses, checking links, making sure nothing's broken, and making sure all of your content is still available. And then along with this, these are sort of two different topics, but making sure your content is accessible. Corey has a really great webinar on PDF remediation and making sure PDFs are accessible. And I will add that to this document or this slideshow as well at the end. I have a slide for resources, but making sure your content is accessible, your videos have subtitles, that there's proper warnings if there's any content that could be like a flash warning or anything like that. So, and if you're not sure, talking to the librarians are a great way to start. If you need guidance on accessibility, we can always help if you need help making your content more accessible. And we are also part of a really good team that, if we don't know the answer, we'll find the answer for you. So that's one thing I really like about working on sort of this team of library staff, is that, we're always going to know where to go to make sure this content is accessible. And so definitely reach out if you're not sure. So another thing that is a big part of preparing for a new semester is making sure that your course reserves and digitization requests are in before the start of the semester. So this can be physical course reserves. If you would like us to purchase a book, to put on course reserve, a textbook, it's good to, tell us way ahead of time so we can place an order for it. And you can even put personal copies on course reserve. So if you have, an extra copy of a textbook and you'd like to put it on course reserve for the semester, you're not donating it, you can take it back. But it's you can put that there for your students. We can also assist with putting e-reserves on your Brightspace course. If you need a digitization request, you need a chapter scan from a book, we can do that. And we can also process digitization requests. So this would be if you needed like a, documentary to be added to your course or something like that, we can do that as well. But because sometimes the processing time can be, 1 to 2 weeks for not just digitization requests, but also reserves. It's good to get that ahead of time, not, at the very start of the semester. So yes, and I have the form I was going to show. This is our purchase request form. Where's my, nope, I think I closed it. There's course reserves, there it is. So we have a course reserve form for physical reserves. So this is what this looks like. You could email it or hand it in person in the library. We have physical reserves at both libraries, not just Kate's, and some various contacts for course reserves. Okay. The librarians also deal with collection development. So this sort of goes along with course reserves, but you can always meet with a librarian to develop or curate a collection. This isn't necessarily something you need to do before a semester. This can be done at any point in the year. But meeting with librarians to develop or curate the collection is, a really I think fruitful partnership that faculty and librarians can have. Like I mentioned before, the faculty are the subject matter experts. So if you feel like there's a gap in the collection, or there's a really good book that you think could others could benefit from by having access to it, please let us know. And we do have that purchase request form. I just closed it, I think. But we have a purchase request form. So if you just have one book, you can just send us that and we'll try our best to acquire it. And we also have, oops, that is not what I wanted to click. Okay. We also sometimes weed our books, our collection. So usually Dave Barron, who's on this call as well, will send out an email to faculty in a department saying, hey, we just, weeded some music books. If you'd like to come and look at them and see if we should keep any, let us know. So Dave sends out those emails regularly. So, we can work with you to, learn what should be kept and, what is not relevant anymore. And we also have a textbook drive, and this takes place at the end of the spring and the fall semester. So if you have any old textbooks, gathering dust in your office and they're just extra copies or, whatever, you can certainly drop those off at the textbook drive. And this is adding open education resources to your course is something I think a lot of us would recommend people do. You can use, you can have all of your resources be OERs, open source resources. You can use it, completely, or, you could incorporate as much as you can. Sometimes it's unavoidable that, students have to purchase a textbook. But definitely, if it's something you're interested in doing, you can collaborate with librarians to source OERs, and we can be sort of your partners in looking for open education resources. And we also always encourage contributing OERs back into the educational community. So if you're interested in learning more about that and how to, you know, contribute OERs and then also incorporate more OERs into your courses, definitely fill out one of those collaboration forms or email us directly, and we would love to talk to you about doing that either in one of your courses or all of your courses. So yeah, let us know. There's also, this is from one of my alma maters from the University of Pittsburgh, but they have a really amazing list of places where you can find OERs. So this is one of their LibGuides, and they have like a lot of resources for finding open access resources. So yes, definitely check it out if you're interested in looking at. I mean, I was gonna make a list, but like this is a list. This is quite a list. So yeah. Ooh, I keep pressing that. All right. And then I also have a list of additional resources and helpful links. So these were some of the links that I put that I showed during this presentation. And I've also created a new semester library preparation checklist, which goes through some of the things I talked about in this presentation. This is a, yeah, so we have course materials, accessibility, and library collaborations. It's pretty short form, but I feel like it's pretty comprehensive. So feel free to copy this and use it if you'd like in your own sort of checklist for preparing for the new semester. And yeah, is there any questions? I know this is kind of, I went through that quick. So but it's not a huge, when you're preparing for the semester, it's not too time intensive, but it is something, you know, to always keep in mind, you know, when you're going through your own checklists.
Veronica, this is Guy. Great presentation. I really appreciate the information. And if I'm asking too specific a question, just redirect me, okay?
Sure.
I have a 125 class. It's an introductory class, and there is a movie video in Canopy that the students are required to watch. Every semester, it seems like I need to request access to it in order for students to view it. Would I use the collaboration form to request that, or is that just a conversation? Because it's
Yeah.
typically just been a conversation, but if I just want to make sure I'm doing it the way it needs to be done.
Yeah, I think that would be fine. Or if you just wanted to use the email form,
Okay.
you know, I Cynthia, I don't know if you want to answer that question, because Cynthia processes the Canopy requests.
Yeah, Canopy. Generally, most people just do just a chat with me, an email. That's fine with any of us.
Okay.
That's probably the easiest thing. I know it's annoying that we have to keep like doing it the licenses are only for a year.
Yeah.
And we ended up, Canopy's a tough one. We had to get rid of some of Canopy stuff because they were like overcharging, and it's a whole thing. But so yeah, I wish it was more seamless than it is, but certainly just yeah, an email's totally fine.
Okay. If I can continue, because I have a few questions here.
No, go for it.
I have a number of students that are incarcerated, and they oftentimes have restrictions in terms of getting access to offline stuff. Uh, I'm showing my age now. You were sending DVDs of the Canopy material. How does that work these days?
Yes.
Wow.